Hello and welcome to Chapter 5, Part 2. In this part, we're taking a look at our heads-up display and encoding the functionality for the lives to work and for the number of keys to show. In the last part, we created the design for this. Now we're going to add in the functionality. So we will return to our user interface heads-up display. Change it from design view to graph view by in the top right button. Now in your graph view, pause. Now in your graph view, you should see a familiar looking blueprint system. You have a blueprint graph here, and on the left hand side we've got the blueprint details, and then the details of the nodes currently selected. Double check to make sure your variables contain your health box and your number of keys. If they don't exist here, return to your designer, select and change its variable to be true. So of the three nodes that are given to you at the start, we only want the construct. So let's delete the other two. And the construct works much like a begin play. So as soon as this thing is created inside the memory, it's going to do this. So the first thing we're going to do is get the player reference. So right click, get player character. And then from there, we're going to cast to your player character. From that, we can then store that as a reference. So drag as player character out and promote to variable, naming it my player ref. Next, we're going to make two other custom events. So right click and do custom event. This first event is going to be called update skulls. The update skulls event is going to handle the updating of the text of our number of keys. So drag your number of keys out from the variable list and choose get. And we're going to change a value of that number of keys. So drag this out and do set text. And hook it up to update skulls. If you ever want to know what you can change on a widget, go to your design view, and basically anything you see in the details panel is something you can change in a blueprint. So go into your graph, and now you see the set text has a in-text value. This in-text value will be the new number of keys the player currently has. So drag your player reference out and choose get. And then from there, we're going to get the number of keys they currently possess. If you connect the integer to the text, it will convert it to a text for you using the toText node. We are done with the update skulls. Next, we're going to make another custom event to update the health. In this update health custom event, we'll be taking the player reference and their health. So get player reference and get health. We're also going to need the health box. So drag your health box out and get. Now we want to get hold of all the contents of that health box because they are containing the 3 hearts. So drag out from the health box and get all children. When you call this, it returns an array. That's what this little icon means. An array is a list. So this is returning a list of all the children inside the health box. So all of its contents essentially. Now an array is very handy because that means we can do something called a for each loop. And the for each loop simply cycles through that list one by one, and we can do stuff with each item in that list. So connect that up to your custom event. And next we're going to check the array index. So the array index is the number that it is in that list, and the array element is that thing in that list. So if I go to my design view to show you this, so if this is going to return all the children, this first one is going to be array index 0, this one's going to be array index 1, and this third one's going to be array index 2. It starts at 0 because arrays are 0 based, meaning their first index is 0. So go back to your graph, and we're going to check if the array index is less than the health. If it's less than the health, then it'll be true, and that will go into changing it to a full heart. If it is false, then we'll make it an empty heart. To change the picture, we'll take the array element and we need to cast it to an image. The reason why we have to cast it is because the array just knows that it's a widget object. It doesn't know what kind of object it is. So we need to tell it that it's an image object. Make sure you connect that up, and then where it says as image, we can drag that out and say set brush from texture. That will go into true, and we'll change that one to the heart full. Next, you want to do that exact same thing again, set brush from texture. This time the image is going to be heart empty. Click the compile button. So now we have these two custom events, one updates goals, one updates health. On your construct, we want to add both of those to the end. So call the update goals and then call the update health. And click compile. Now because these are functions, that means we can call them from outside of the blueprint. So we need to go and find wherever we are calling those two functions. So first of all, let's start with the player. So on the player, we've got when they receive any damage to take away health. After that, we want to be able to get hold of the HUD and tell the HUD to update its health. So right click, get game mode. Now we need to cast that to our maze game mode, so we know which game mode we are looking at. And from there, we want to get the heads-up display reference that we stored in the first part. And then from that, we can call the update health function. There you go. And click compile. Next, we want to go into the door. So we need to update the door for when we take a key away from the player. So find where you do number of keys minus minus, so decrement, and give yourself a bit of space by moving things along a bit. We're then going to go get game mode. Again, we're going to cast that to the maze game mode. And from there, get heads up display, and then call update skulls. Now we also want to copy all of this that we just added, these 4 nodes, by saying Control C, compile that and close that down. Because we also need to update it when we add skulls to the player inventory. So open up the key platform, and afterwards, after you see the ++ for number of keys, we're going to paste that in with Control V, exactly the same, and click compile. So now when I test and play the game, I can pick up a key and it updates the heads-up display for me. Insert the key in, takes the key away, and if I get hit by an arrow, my hearts go down. Now whilst we're here, we also want to fix a little bug we've got. We want to make sure that the player's health does not go below 0, so that it can't take away health or update the health any further if we receive a hit. So we're going to go into our arrow projectile, and at the start, where you're doing the begin overlap caster player, we're going to spread that out a little bit, and we're going to check that the player's health has got actually health to remove. So as player character, get health. This will be compared, so you want to make sure it's greater than 0, and that'll go into a branch. The branch will go in between the cast and the launch, with the true going into launch. That way we'll only do damage and launch the player if the player actually has health to take away. Hit compile, and we're done here. And that is it for part 2. Join us in part 3 where we start work on our lose screen. Thanks very much, I'll see you in the next part. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you like what I do and you want to see more content before anyone else, please consider supporting me for at least $1 over on patreon.com/RyanLaley. For just $1 you can get access to all these videos early before anyone else, sometimes well ahead of anyone else. And I'll take this moment to say a big thank you for all my supporters so far in supporting me in making this channel content. Wouldn't be doing this without you guys, so a big thank you to all of you. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.